everyone, welcome back to my channel. I don't buy books. It's another book haul. I have had an emotionally fraught couple of days. Nothing's going on, I'm just being dramatic. So I wanted to buy some books to cheer myself up. I do have 3 that I got from Amazon, so I'll do those ones really quickly. If you are new here, I would love to have you as a subscriber. My shtick is that I'm always telling people I don't do book hauls, and then it's just book hauls all the time. And occasionally I review books. Actually, on my Instagram at the moment, by the time you see this is probably going to be finished, I am having people decide which books I should do as my next reading vlog. And at the moment, Zodiac Academy is absolutely killing it. So act shocked when that vlog goes up. Very exciting. The first book is Remy vs. Rome by Callahan. This is Bonnie's debut novel. I did receive an e-arc for this with no expectations of any sort of review, any sort of anything. I bought this copy with my own money and it was the fucking cutest book. I'm not even kidding. I'm gonna tell you now that it is fade to black, but I absolutely loved the dynamic and the atmosphere in this. I felt like I was in Rome. Remy Campbell is from Arizona. She has just gone through a breakup with her longtime boyfriend, Eric, who is a piece of shit. Fuck Eric. She's out clubbing one night, minding her own business as you often do when you're in another country. And she meets a guy who says, hey, like, let's go out for a little date. Turns out he's trying to like steal some artifact or some shit. And Remy is implicated in it. So Remy had been to Rome once before when she was 14, so she's spending her time now in police custody. But there is a hunky detective in this book. I just love this. I honestly felt like this is the perfect vibe, probably for the end of summer for the Americans. So like if you're gonna read this, read it quick. It's on Kindle Unlimited as well. Really love this. I can't wait to see what Bonnie Callahan does next. So check out Remy vs. Rome. Let me know when you have. Next up, I also got an e-arc of this. I was so lucky. Thank you so much to SJ Tilly. And I bought this copy with my own money and fuck me. Bitch. If you're not reading SJ Tilly, sort it out immediately. This is the second book in the Darling Lake series. SJ Tilly has a little bit of something for everyone. This is kind of like a small town sort of romance, a little bit of like age gap. The first book in this series was about a girl named Eloise, and she'd had this crush on a guy called Beckett for the longest time. Noticeably older than her to the point where like they couldn't hook up until Eloise was sort of old, and nothing nefarious happens during that time period. But this is Maddie. This is Eloise's best friend. And Maddie goes on a date with a guy she meets on like a dating app. Turns out that the date has to be cancelled and his dad shows up. When I say his dad shows up, daddy shows up. That's all I'm gonna say. This also has like a really hilarious height difference. Maddie is 5 feet tall, and Axel, the love interest, who is also like 30 years older than her, no, 20 something years older than her, he is 6'6". So when I first read this book, my review of it was just, you know that picture? I'm gonna put it here. It's that picture of the hamster like eating the banana. That's this book. 5 stars. I've read this 3 times since I've had the ER. The most important part about this book though, come on, focus. Fuck yeah. Well, I'm in this book. I'm thanked in this book. Amazon, I pre-ordered this one because I thought it was coming out sooner than it was being released at Big W. And it is from Lukov with Love by Mariana Zapata. This was only like $12, I want to say. So I ordered it off Amazon, but it's actually out now in stores. So if you're Australian, you don't have to order it off Amazon. You don't have to use your husband's Amazon Prime account like I did for all those books as well. Thank you so much to my husband, my long-suffering, amazing husband. A figure skater? I want to say, I know the slow burn, 17 years of figure skating and countless broken bones, blah, blah, blah. There is a movie, maybe some of you are too young to remember this movie. It's called The Cutting Edge. And in the TV show One Tree Hill, it is Lucas's mother. She was the figure skater and she has to hook up with like a hockey player who was like blinded in a hockey accident. Anyway, the original sports romance film, obviously, from the 90s, like, you know, back when like phones were in your house and they would like ring and you'd have no idea who was on the other line. This is kind of like the same vibe. They're both figure skaters. I know that they hate each other. It's gonna be slow, but it's gonna be fucking delicious. So let's get into the real mental breakdown portion of this video, as if the first 5 minutes of it wasn't already that. So I got all of these yesterday. I just needed to feel something, you know, like when you just need to spend money to feel better. I don't know if anyone else is like mentally ill in that way that I am. This book is called The Not So Chosen One by Kate Emery. I didn't realize this one's set in Australia, but it does have something. It's Lucy is just a regular teenager with regular worries, homework, friends, getting home for dinner on time. Oh, and then there's a small matter of how she's going to tell her mother about her unplanned pregnancy. Literally the first page is talking about the sticky weather in Perth. So I'm on the other side of the country. If you don't know anything about Australia, that's not where I am. Next up, I got Not the Witch You Wed by April Asher. This was $16 down to $8, so of course I had to get it. Spooky season as well. I'm pretty sure the guy is a wolf shifter and the female character is a witch who has lost her magic, but when they get together, her magic is back. So obviously I'm gonna definitely read this one in October, so I will let you know. It does look sort of like a cute kind of rom-com instead of something like dark and sort of more stressful for that time of the year. I want to do a nice balance of the two. And let me know if you want a video doing recommendations before that, because I have read some that are kind of a bit spooky. I grabbed a copy of Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. I have read this one. I really did enjoy it. I need this for something, so that's all I'm saying. This one sounds really bad. I had no interest in finishing up this series, but then everyone else was like, oh my god, it was so good. They're like, the love triangle was resolved. Like, I read the first 2 books at the start of the year and I felt like there was no competition in the love triangle. I don't know. It was like really throwback to like early YA. Like, remember how everything was a fucking love triangle and it was 3 books and it was just like an absolute headache. But that is The Final Gambit by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This is the final book in the Inheritance Game series, which originally it was going to be a duology, which pissed me off. I was like, fuck you for the 3rd book. Whatever though, I do own it now. I will read it, but I'm not rushing to. And then next minute I read it today and I'm like, oh yeah, that was fine, like whatever. 2 little rom-coms by the same author, Ella Mays, I want to say. So I'm pretty sure this is the first one, To Love Jason Thorne and To Hate Adam Connor. This one is about Olive. Olive is a romance writer who was in love with Jason when she was younger and sort of based her book on story, or like her feelings, or maybe it's like what she wanted their story to be. And now Jason is a famous actor who is going to be starring in the movie adaptation. Could you think of anything fucking worse? Like, you essentially write fanfic for a man and then he's the, it's like Harry Styles being an after. Do you know what I mean? Like, unhinged behavior. So this one is To Hate Adam Connor. Adam Connor is also an award-winning actor and an undeniable heartthrob. He's recently divorced, single dad, and this is his next door neighbor. This one's been getting a really mixed reviews, but it is The American Roommate Experiment by Elena Armas. This is The Spanish Love Deception. It's a lot smaller than that one because The Spanish Love Deception was like 500 and something pages, which is just fucking insane for a predominantly romance novel. I've heard this one sort of has the same issues as the first book, which I mercifully have not read, so I'll let you know when I eventually get around to them. In the vein of like horror, murder, spooky, you understand the theme of this video, like me absolutely having no thought about what I'm purchasing and just like handing over my debit card. I grabbed The Good Girl's Guide to Murder series by Holly Jackson, as well as Killjoy, which is like the new novella. So the books that I got were A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, that's the first one. Good Girl, Bad Blood. And this one, you can see it's a little bit bent out of shape. It was $12 and I got it for $5 because it was the last one. I was like, oh hey, like, you know, I don't really care, like I'll probably still buy it. She's like, look, I'll put it on discount for you. I was like, bitch, love you. But they're a lot like Illuminate in the way that it's sort of like a mixed media, almost dossier of what's going on. Like, there's production notes because I'm pretty sure she's doing a podcast, and then like, you know, police notes and shit like that, like little text conversations and everything. So I figured that reading them physically in my hands were pretty good. I know that the last book, a lot of people were like, the ending was blah, 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 and I'm like, I'm just so excited. I love that. I love to like see the drama. Like, what are we complaining about now? That is everything that I have recently purchased. Let me know in the comments down below if you have read any of these books. Please subscribe if you haven't already, if you're from my Instagram or whatever. All of my links for everything down below, Instagram, TikTok. I'm back on my blog because I want to be reading more books and like doing spoiler reviews and stuff. Don't worry, they will be tagged and I will let you know when it is going to happen. Guys, I've just really missed creating. My life has actually been insane, but like I said, my kids are on holidays, so I'll be able to like sit down and kind of relax instead of like running backwards and forwards to a fucking primary school every 2 seconds. I hope that you're having a wonderful day wherever you are in the world. I hope that you read the best book that you have ever read today, and lots of love, hugs, and kisses. Mwah! Bye.